Moon rising. Before I jump right in, please read below about the mundane astrology aspects for June. You can just click on the link that will take you straight to Aries. And in the intro in Aries, you can just click on the timestamps to listen to what you may want to hear about the overall aspects. But if you want to skip over all that, then don't mind and just listen to the video. My video intro, for whatever reason, had gotten really weird and stopped working after Leo. Okay, let's just jump right in. All right, Jupiter and Taurus made a sextile, and actually Uranus is still in the late degrees of Taurus. Anyway, all of these Taurus placements were making sextiles to your sign last year in your third house of they're making a sextile to your ascendant sun or moon, and they were all in your third house of communication, early education, the mind, vehicles, training, social media, Instagram, YouTube, community, neighbors, neighborhood, siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, small business, marketing, short educational courses. You could have had big growth and even money come out of this area. Maybe you started writing a book here as well, and by the conjunctions that were happening last month, you may have found an agent or signed a deal for a podcast, book, ebook, etc., and will profit from that for years to come. You also could have found love as well in your local community, as Jupiter sextiles you and is your ancient ruler and was in a Venus-ruled sign. Venus's domain is love, money, luxury goods, music, the arts, good food, good wine, relationships, etc. Taurus rules the mouth and throat. You could have started public speaking or speaking via social media and earning money that way. Maybe songwriting coming from the divine downloads. Neptune rules music and the divine, and you as well. If you didn't see results right away, don't despair. The conjunctions last month were kicking off new cycles beginning now and unfolding over the next 12 years. The seeds of some of these ideas were most likely rooting down and will start to take shape. Now Jupiter has moved into Gemini, the sign of the twins, and is in your fourth house of home, family, ancestral roots, depending on if your IC is floating around here, motherhood, property, etc. You could have had a very transformational experience or will have one starting now with this Jupiter-Pluto-Mercury trine happening in this house. It could look like deep family healing, maybe even from lifetimes ago, and the healing changes the future karma for your family in a positive way. You could move to a larger home, a more abundant home, a busy home with Gemini here. You can get more than one home with Gemini, but a fun and youthful atmosphere in the home. You could have more than one child or grandchildren come into your life now as Jupiter expands and grows all of these things. And I feel Gemini is a very childlike sign and also rules children. You could make money from home or purchase like an Airbnb property that you could also keep in your family for generations to come, yet also make money from. I know I'm looking for such a place myself. I can see you working from home in communication areas in the year ahead. And with Pluto in the mix here in a positive way and with Mercury as well, it could look like a book that will change your life in a very big way. Maybe fame or big money can come from it or other communication projects. You could be initiating all these changes as Jupiter rules you and he is now going into the fourth house. Pluto in the 12th can be bringing divine downloads, insights, deep healing, music, or other artistry that seems to come from the ethers. You may not even be surprised as it just seems to come to you and flow through you and out into a communication venue like writing, blogging, YouTubing, podcasts, music making, etc. Because Gemini rules the third and a lot of action was happening there over the past year, and it rules thought and mind and intellect. Neptune also rules you, will be in the mix, and also bringing in other worldly aspects as well. You really could be coming up with out-of-this-world ideas around music, art, and communication, fiction and fantasy. Now is the time to move on these ideas. Don't wait. All planets are direct except for Pluto. And again, in the next year, you could be doing all of this from home. The North Node in Chiron has been in Aries in your second house and will be until next January, giving you a few more months to heal the wound around resources, your self-worth, values, your bank account, or some undoing behavior here, like eating bad food, too much wine, drinking, vaping, smoking, etc. You could also because of the aforementioned topics of the trine with Pluto and Jupiter, you could be healing a codependency issue and standing on your own finally, financially or just overall. Aries is very much a self-starter, go-getter. You may have been finding an assertiveness and motivation you never had before until now to heal this wound. The South Node has been in the 8th house of sharing resources, life, death, rebirth, sex, other people's money. And here it could be helping you let go of depending on another's resources. It doesn't have to be bad. It could just be that you worked for part-time for years, taking care of the family, or you couldn't find gainful work and had to depend on a partner or others to help you. Now, no more. You may have even gotten a fire underneath you about this. And I can almost guarantee most, if not all of you by now, are already making these changes. On June 6th, there will be a new moon in Gemini, conjunct the Sun and Venus, lighting up that 4th house of home. Again, initiating changes or ideas around home-related matters. There could literally be money coming in at this time for the home, around the home, from the home, or money-making ideas comes in for home projects. You could just love spending time at home with your significant other at this time because there's such a stellium of planets in this 4th house. Saturn is in your 1st, further giving you that energy to make changes, stop bad habits, and make your dreams concrete. He will be in a square aspect to this conjunction, but it could just look like some of the above mentioned things might need a reality check or just some grounding influence. The mind could be on overload at this time and could cause a touch of pessimism or frustration about the things you're getting excited about and just needing a little bit more tweaking. You might encounter a speed bump, but really I wouldn't worry too much. Squares just offer or create tension or the need to act. If we just had trines all the time, we'd be so lazy. On June 11th, there is a Pluto and Aquarius square in your 12th house, squaring Mars and Taurus in your 3rd. In simple terms, since these two are malefics, take care in your local community, driving, especially on this day, the days surrounding, before and after. If you are away on travel in a distant land, 12th house rules overseas travel. Be careful around others at this time and try not to travel or get into an altercation with someone. Don't post anything online or get into arguments with people online. This square will start to dissipate, and you may have already been feeling it anyway since the end of May, since both planets are debilitated and not in full power, since Pluto is retrograde and Mars is in a Venus sign. There could just be issues around like love and money and frustrations or hidden frustrations, maybe volcanoing up, from below the surface. 12th house rules hidden things. Pluto rules hidden things, things below the surface, around the 12th and 3rd house areas. On June 17th and 18th, there will be another conjunction of the Sun and Venus, moving now from the 4th house of home and family into your 5th house of romance, children, lovers, creativity, acting, arts, etc. There could be a new love here. A child comes into your life that you just love to pieces. How can you just not love children anyway? You're sweet Pisces, so I would assume you would. You could have begun a home beautification project, starting a novel, maybe a nice night out to meet someone or out on a date. Could just be a lovely night out or two all around. Neptune will be generating a little bit of it's gorgeous Neptune fog over all of this aspect here. And maybe just some confusion about where to begin with these topics. Be careful not to overindulge at this time. He can make things a little bit hazy. On June 20th, the Sun moves into Cancer and trines you from the 5th. All of the 4th house energy is now moving into one of the most favorable, fun, and lucky houses of all. The end of June and July are going to be really good for getting out and about, meeting new people, having fun with children, creative projects, possible lottery wins here too, local lottery, etc. On June 21st, a full moon in Capricorn takes place in your 11th house of hopes, dreams, wishes, lottery wins, big lottery wins, internet, large groups of people, philanthropy. This is also Aquarius's natural house, Aquarian people, humanitarian issues, to Cancer in the 5th house of luck, lucky breaks. You could literally win something or complete a project in the 11th house area. Both houses are luck houses and gainful in sudden ways. Just don't blow your paychecks on lotto tickets. You could be wrapping up a big group humanitarian project that began about 6 months ago, or internet projects, and trying to balance out both the house of children and lovers with bigger plans of the 11th. The 11th house is also like a house of principles, all right, but Capricorn sextiles you and Cancer trines you. So I see all this like all around just a good time. On June 29th, Saturn starts to retrograde back into your first house of self, your physical body, health, and just your overall life. You could be incorporating all of the new changes that you are trying to make now and using the next few months while Saturn is retrograde to revise, redo, and close up any weak areas there. July is going to be a really good time to relax and let your hair down and have fun with the 5th house starting to fill up. Take care. See you in July.